Yes, the Reddit stories are back. We're looking at r/ am I the butthole? So, first story is, am I the asshole for suing my parents for my college money? My great aunt set up savings accounts for all of her female relatives, and our cultural education for women is not really valued, and she thought that was bullshit. She lived with her father in London where she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man. They moved to America and had a great life. She funded the education of as many of her nieces and grandnieces as she could. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and I. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get money for school and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it and they said they needed the money. I finally found out where the money went. I got furious, I got student loans and moved out. I am a great source of shame to them and I don't give two fricks. I am currently suing them for the money that was left of me. My entire family is against me. They all think I'm a complete asshole for airing private family business in public, and that I am putting money ahead of family. My friends are all on my side, but they're all Americans and don't really get my culture. Neither do I, to be honest. My brother called me and offered to pay for my university if I dropped the lawsuit. I agreed as long as we had a legally binding contract. He said I was being an asshole for not trusting him. He said he should have not accepted my money for his wedding. It is causing all kinds of embarrassment in our community. I am somewhat ashamed to be doing this, but I don't want to have this debt, so I should not have. So, am I the butthole? Well, OP, in my opinion, you're definitely not the butthole. Your great aunt left money in her will for you and every girl relative she has, and your parents have stolen the money, so you are legally allowed to sue them for your money. So yeah, you're definitely not the butthole, and I can't believe your family has now turned your back against you. It's just bad. It's just ridiculous. Am I the asshole for ruining a proposal? My girlfriend just bought a house and is so excited. She invited a ton of people over for a housewarming. She put so much work into everything. The house looked amazing and the food was delicious. Right after dinner, while my girlfriend was getting dessert, her brother proposed to his girlfriend. I was mad because he hijacked my girlfriend's event that she worked so hard for. Before she could answer, I told him to sit down and quit being so rude and disrespectful to my sister. He was mad, but his girlfriend looked so embarrassed. They ended up leaving. The party was very awkward after that. A lot of people left early. My girlfriend's mom was furious at me because she wanted her son to stop living in sin and I ruined it. My girlfriend said I was sweet but didn't need to do that. Her brother texted me calling me a prick. Was I an asshole for telling them to have some class? In my opinion, no. It's your girlfriend's housewarming party and they tried to take advantage of it. So definitely you're not the butthole, and in fact, you definitely did the right thing. Am I the asshole for telling my grandchildren's father I don't owe his other children anything? I lost my youngest daughter Joyce a decade ago. She left behind her husband and 2 children who are now 15 and 16 years old. My daughter was very close to her dad and me, and when she was at her sickest, she begged us to stay in the kids' lives and make sure they always knew she loved them and we were her family just as much. She mentioned how worried she was that her husband would encourage them to forget her and would try to replace her for them with a new woman. She asked that we leave anything we might have left her to her children. We assured her we would never let the relationship end and that we would make sure they had a good life and will remember her always. 8 months later, after she died, her husband moved his now wife into their home. She had a baby with someone else and was expecting a baby with someone. At that point, he did attempt to make it a package deal where we could not see our grandchildren without treating his now stepchildren as our grandchildren, and that we would treat all future children of his the same. Otherwise, we would need to be cut out to give our grandchildren the chance to form the new family bonds without interference from us. That they deserved the chance to have another mother and only see the new children as true siblings. Their lawyer told them we would have a case to get grandparents visitation. We also sought a fight on if we were denied access if we would obtain that. We were told given our close relationship with the children it would be easy to get access for the courts. They said to us getting minimal access, but it was all that was needed because our grandchildren were glad to see us and their aunts, uncles and cousins. In the last few years, my former son-in-law has found himself estranged from his own family, and his wife's family are also no longer in the picture, and he has 6 children, not counting my grandchildren. in his home with no family or support outside of him and his wife. Now that my grandchildren are teenagers, they seek to spend more time with us and their lives have benefit from it. We admittedly spoil them more than some would like because of the circumstances, but they are wonderful children. Their father confronted me recently about his other children and how they have no extended family and are suffering seeing their siblings being spoiled. He also said we already come between our grandchildren and their siblings because they are not close and have asked for their siblings to be part of the extended family they have. He told me I owe it to his children to step in and give them love and some of the same spoiling. I told him I did not know any of his children anything and that I would never forgive him for what he attempted to do. He told me I was cold-hearted and callous. Part of me wonders if he's right because the children are innocent, and even though I have never considered the family, they are still young and never to do with my former sister-in-law's actions. So, am I the butthole? Yes, you're definitely the butthole in this one. It's just ridiculous that... So basically, your grandchild's father, which is probably your son-in-law, you're not considering his children as your own, as an equal grandchild. That's not fair. It's just ridiculous. So in my opinion, yeah, you're definitely the butthole. I'm sorry. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my sister, brother-in-law and his friend after I was set up on a surprise blind date? I, 25 female, have never been interested in romantic relationships. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'm very busy with grad school and work and I like being on my own. I have friends and a dog and that's honestly enough. I'm happy with my life. My family thinks this is weird beyond belief and the pressure has ramped up now that even my younger brother has gotten married and I'm the only one left on the shelf. My older sister husband has been offering to set me up for years because I'm too hot to stay single, whatever that means. I've always tried to refuse politely, but it's wearing thin. I was home visiting my parents this weekend and my sister invited me out to dinner at a new restaurant. It was an upscale place, so she said to wear something nice. I thought it was just going to be the three of us, but there was another guy in the car when they picked me up. He said he was brother-in-law's friend Joe. Awkward, but not too unusual. We go to the restaurant and sit down and Joe keeps trying to make conversation with me, with brother-in-law and my sister egging it on, and I finally joke, am I on a date or something? What's with all the questions? And my sister straight up says, yes, we thought you just needed a little push, so we decided to set you two up. I asked Joe if he knew about this and he admitted that brother-in-law told him he wanted to set him up on a blind date, but that he was glad he came. So I was the only one that didn't know he was a date. I was pretty mad but didn't want to cause a scene in the restaurant, so I finished dinner and gave really short responses to questions. So you're in a PhD program? Yes. What's that like? Busy. And the evening just stayed really uncomfortable and awkward. Joe apologized in the car and I told him it wasn't his fault, but he probably shouldn't let brother-in-law set him up again and I wasn't interested in dating anyone. Apparently he told brother-in-law off in the car about making him look bad so that he didn't even have a chance. My sister is mad because I was rude and embarrassed her when they were just trying to help me out of my shell. My parents think I should appreciate the gesture and give Joe a chance because you never know when to apologize. So am I the butthole? The answer is no. Definitely not the butthole in my personal opinion. I personally feel like you're not comfortable with dating. That's your opinion. That's your choice. If you're not comfortable, then if someone's going to force you, you should have backed out. So in my opinion, yeah, you're definitely not the butthole. And the last story is, am I the butthole for telling my sister she's the reason our parents are divorcing? Oh Jesus, that's how I was mad. Okay. About a month ago, my 24 male parents, 55 female, 57 male, announced they were getting divorced. This has been quite a shock to most people as they seem to be having issues out of the ordinary. However, I have been the one privy to the information of why they are divorcing. It's because of my sister, Anne, 26 female. Anne is a deadbeat. She has never worked more than 14 hours a week since getting expelled from college for multiple acts of cheating and code of conduct violations 5 years ago. All she does is sit at home most days watching TV or going over to her loser boyfriend's house to get high. She feels no need to support herself and expects my parents to carry her through life. She's been in therapy since she was 14, but cannot keep one for more than a year because she gets dropped as a client due to a lying and inability to show up to appointments. My parents have spent over a decade trying to get some mental issue pinned down for Anne, and all they go on is she's a lazy narcissist. Man, Anne definitely is a nice person. Last year my mum decided enough was enough and planned to kick Anne to the curb and wash her hands of her. Dad disagreed and in the end the two's marriage got torn apart. I knew because both have come to me basically admitting that if Anne was not a factor, divorce would not even be a consideration. I don't get along with Pan for a variety of reasons. She's always been a bully and owes me a lot of money at the moment. The things that boils my blood, though, is that she's oblivious to the situation between our parents or just doesn't care. She had a literal tantrum when the possibility of the house being sold came up because she didn't want to have to move into an apartment with my dad. Last night I found myself at my parents' house and the misfortune of talking to Anne. Anne mentioned she is getting really sick of my mum's melodramatic shit and not just leaving the house to her and my dad. Something struck at me in the moment, and I just asked if she really does not care that she's a selfish, garbage, waste of space human, that she's driven her parents to get a divorce. I elaborated and told her the full truth, that she is in fact the only reason they are getting divorced because mums finally realised there is no hope and will ever grow up. The shitstorm that this caused was massive. Anne acted as if I sold her out to the Romans and my parents argued between she deserves to know and we told you in confidence. Because Anne cannot keep her mouth shut either, the entire extended family has begun to hear. I want to know before opinions start forming out in a circle if I am the asshole here. This is a tough one. You got angry and you wanted to speak out your emotions. That's fine. But the way you did it was very harsh, like saying it's her fault. In your mum's opinion, it's definitely her fault. In my opinion, you're definitely not the butthole, but the way you did it was very harsh. But you were angry, like you were just frustrated with her. So maybe you definitely wanted to say something about it, but maybe you didn't say it as a polite way or something. I'm not quite sure. I hope you guys did enjoy this Reddit video. If you guys want me to do more of these Reddit stories, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here on the road to 400 subscribers. If you have not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? It's free to do, so hit the big button down below. Right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.